I'm Joe Catalano with an AM Quincy news update for Friday, April 18th. Well, it's been a busy 24 hours for the Quincy Fire Department since 4:30 yesterday afternoon. Firefighters have responded to 4 separate fires. Started at 4:30 yesterday with a fire at the gazebo at the Marina Bay Skilled Nursing Home on Seaport Drive. Then at 6 o'clock, fire broke out on the back porch of a house at 457 Adams Street. Just before 8 o'clock last night, firefighters responded to a fire in the woods behind the Camman Market on Quincy Avenue. And at 1 o'clock this morning, a brush fire broke out off Wampatuck Road and the Skyline Trail in the Blue Hills Reservation. There were no injuries in any of these fires, and none of the fires are considered suspicious. The $3.1 million renovation project at Mount Wollaston Cemetery in Quincy is complete now that a new gate has been installed at the C Street entrance. The wrought iron gate was installed earlier this month, completing a project that also included realigning the war memorials and the dedication of a new monument honoring veterans of the Gulf Wars, new flagpoles, and new lighting. The new black gate features gold leaf images of angels and cherubs along with swords and medals of honor. The former Quincy granite gate had been removed many years ago to allow larger vehicles to enter the cemetery and could not be restored. The project was funded from the American Rescue Plan Act and the city's Perpetual Care Fund. The 51-acre cemetery was consecrated in 1855. Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch says the MBTA has agreed to demolish the existing bus maintenance facility on Hancock Street and give the property to the city when the new garage is completed in early 2027. Koch says he will seek outside funding to create a recreational facility that may include an indoor track and outdoor facilities. The Quincy Planning Board has unanimously approved of a proposal to demolish the Wollaston Lutheran Church and parsonage and replace it with a new church, social service community center, educational facility, and 3 one-bedroom apartments for the pastor and visitors. 6 parking spaces will be designated for the apartments. Liens will now be placed on Quincy properties with overdue fines from the Inspectional Services Department and the Department of Public Health. The City Council approved a new ordinance that allows the liens to be attached to those properties' real estate tax bills. The Brewster Company, LLC, which operates both McDonald's restaurants in Quincy, has been fined almost $64,000 by the state for violating child labor laws. Attorney General Andrea Campbell says the company failed to get work permits before hiring underage workers and allowed them to work past the state-mandated 9-hour limit. The company also operates 6 other McDonald's locations across the state. 35-year-old LaLance Smith of Quincy was found guilty of first-degree murder for the shooting death of 59-year-old Arnold Woodrum of Dorchester in a Dorchester apartment in 2019. Prosecutors say Smith shot Woodrum during a robbery. He was sentenced to life in prison yesterday in Suffolk Superior Court. A husband and wife from Braintree are charged with running illegal casinos in Quincy and Boston for the past 2 years. 50-year-old Zhu Tan Zhang and 55-year-old Shi Rong Li are charged with running the casinos at 299 Newport Avenue in Quincy and on Oxford Street in Boston's Chinatown. Authorities seized 22 slot machines, gaming tables, $6 million worth of untaxed cigarettes, and $140,000 in cash. The couple are also charged with evading $1.2 million in income taxes. 32-year-old Dorchester residents Jason Hawley and Francis Jean Felix were both arrested at 209 Arlington Street in Quincy Monday. After Boston and Quincy police executed a search warrant, officers recovered a loaded gun, ammunition, crack cocaine, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia. The suspects face charges in Quincy and Dorchester district courts. Ark of the South Shore will be hosting their third annual Easter Bunny Bash today at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. at the Derby Street Shops in Hingham. Fundraiser features an egg hunt, face painting, and pictures with the Easter Bunny. The event will take place on the Derby Street Green between REI and Coles. You can visit arksouthshore.org to register. Reminder, curbside collection of trash and recycling will be delayed one day in Quincy next week due to the Patriots' Day holiday on Monday. The Quincy Parks Department's Environmental Treasures Program presents Exploring Furnace Brook and its Environs tomorrow at 10 a.m. Quincy environmental scientist Heather Liss will lead a tour to learn about changes to Furnace Brook for flood control and ecological restoration, followed by a tour of Haw Place, the site of the 1645 blast furnace, and a special monument at St. Mary's Cemetery led by Tom Bonomi of the Quincy Quarry and Granite Workers Museum. You can register for the free program at sowen@quincyma.gov. The Norfolk County Sheriff's Office is holding a blood drive at the Sharon Public Safety Facility today from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. to support Boston Children's Hospital. Donors can schedule an appointment at bostonchildrens.org/halfpints or by calling 617-355-6677 and entering the sponsor code NORSharon when registering. Well, the annual Color Fun Run held by the Southwest Middle School PTO in Quincy last Friday being called a huge success. Despite the dreary weather, fifth graders took laps around the track at Kincaid Park, while teachers and parents showered them with a rainbow of colored powder dye, creating tie-dyed keepsakes. The shirts reflect a community of support from local businesses and organizations. Color Fun Run shirts are one-of-a-kind shirts designed by students. This year's shirt was designed by fifth grader A. Lee. The third annual Color Fun Run took place after students fundraised through a booster-thon to help bring in new programs to the school and meet the needs of the diverse background of students. The event surpassed their fundraising goal. Even fourth graders from the nearby Lincoln Hancock School got in on the fun, cheering on the fifth graders from the Southwest Middle School. A check of business news this morning. Stocks are mixed. The Dow was down 527 points. The Nasdaq fell 20. The S&P added 7. Asian stocks mostly higher in thin Good Friday trading after a bumpy ride on Wall Street where the Dow lost 1.3% as United Health shed more than a fifth of its value due to a weaker than expected profit report. U.S. stock and bond markets are closed today for Good Friday. The dollar was down, the euro rose, and oil at $64 a barrel. In sports, Red Sox are back home at Fenway Park tonight at 7 o'clock against the White Sox. And Celtics getting ready for Game 1 of the NBA playoffs Sunday at 3:30 against the Magic in Boston. The National Weather Service forecast for today, partly cloudy with a high of 68 degrees. For tonight, a few clouds around, lows drop off to the lower 50s. And tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, but tomorrow's high temperature could be 83 degrees. Mostly sunny on Easter Sunday with a high of 63. And Patriots Day, Marathon Monday, sun and clouds, highs in the mid-60s. For the boater today, waves 1 to 2 feet. The wind southwest becoming southerly and then gusting to 20 knots later today. The high tide at 4:02 p.m. Sunrise 5:57, sets at 7:29. I'm Joe Catalano with an AM Quincy news update for Friday, April 18th.